They deactivated my pass on a Wednesday afternoon. HR director, line manager, a meeting I'd been called into without a stated agenda, the same structure as any meeting of this kind. By the time I'd sat down, I already understood what it was. An anonymous complaint had been received. It alleged that I had been behaving inappropriately toward a junior team member and creating a hostile working environment. I was being suspended while an investigation was conducted. Paid suspension, which was standard. The investigation would take approximately 4 weeks. I was handed the formal investigation process document. They stood up. The meeting was over. I walked out with my belongings and my pass no longer worked. The allegation was fabricated. I knew this with complete certainty. I also knew with equal certainty where it had come from. 3 weeks earlier, I had issued a formal written warning to a junior team member following a performance management process that had been difficult and prolonged. The specificity of the allegation and its timing made the source reasonably clear, to me at least. I sat in my car for a while. Then I drove home and read the investigation process document from the first page to the last. It was the most important document I had been handed. It set out my rights in full. I was entitled to be accompanied at all investigation meetings by a trade union representative or colleague. I was entitled to see any evidence gathered. I was entitled to provide a detailed written response to any allegation. I was entitled to call witnesses in my defense. I used all of them. I had been a union member for 3 years without ever having needed the membership. I called the union the following morning. The representative assigned to me had been through this process many times. She was calm, precise, and experienced in exactly the way I needed her to be. I provided a detailed written response within 5 days. It addressed every specific claim with a factual counter-account. It referenced the performance management process and noted, in measured terms, that the complaint had been submitted approximately 3 weeks after I had issued a formal written warning to the individual I believed to be its source. I did not name them directly. I noted the timeline and the specificity and let the reader reach their own conclusions. I named 6 witnesses. All of them provided accounts consistent with mine. The investigation took 6 weeks rather than 4. It found that the allegation was not substantiated. The report, which I was provided a copy of as part of the process, noted that the timeline of the complaint, its specificity, and the consistent accounts of multiple witnesses had together led to the conclusion that the allegation did not reflect actual events. The report also noted carefully that making a false allegation against a colleague constitutes potential misconduct in its own right. I was reinstated. I was not privy to what happened to the individual who had made the complaint. I know only that they left the company 3 months after my reinstatement. What I know is that the process worked. Not quickly, not without 6 weeks of anxiety that I found harder than I let on. But it worked. The investigation process document they handed me on that Wednesday afternoon contained everything I needed. Most people don't read it carefully. Most people are too distressed to read it carefully. I understand that, but it is worth reading. Has a workplace process ever worked in your favor when you engaged with it properly? Drop it in the comments. And if you want more complete stories with no part 2s that never come, follow the page. New story every day. Oh.